And with a full belly, I'm ready to explore the city's streets. I've been really taken by how many layers of history there are here. You can check out the Romans, see the Vikings, explore the medieval. But this afternoon, I'm going on a tour dedicated to possibly the city's most famous son.
You must be John, right?
Must be Gregg, I'm guessing.
Yeah. You're going to teach me all about Guy Fawkes.
We're in the right place. This little church behind us here, Michael of Belfry, he was baptised in this very church.
Today we know Guy Fawkes as the man who tried to blow up Parliament in a Catholic coup attempted back in 1605, an event that has inspired many a bonfire and fireworks display.
And this is where he learnt about sparklers, is it?
This is the beginning of it all, Gregg.
But on this tour, John shows visitors how a young boy from York rose to infamy in a nation deeply divided between Protestants and Catholics.
He was born just behind us there.
So what sort of family was Guy Fawkes born into?
A very respectable Protestant family, and both his grandfather and his father, Edward Fawkes, had both played a unique role, that they were prosecutors. It was their job, if you like, to basically, name and shame these recusant Catholics.
I need to know how a young man, Guy Fawkes, born into a prominent, eminent Protestant family in York, ends up as a Catholic radical.
John reckons that hidden in the streets of York are all the answers to my questions. But to get around, we'll need something a bit quicker than our feet.
Is that it?
Let's do it.
Fantastic. What's the next stage of our story?
Well, it's a major life event for young Guy, because his father dies when he's just 9 years old. But after having been brought up in this sort of fiercely Protestant household, his mother now goes on to marry a Catholic.
No way.
Seriously.
No way. Okay. So he's beginning to see life from a Catholic point of view for the first time.
Absolutely.
Guy was sent to get an education at St. Peter's School, founded in 627 AD. This is the fourth oldest still running school in the world, and it's the next stop on our adventure.
Wow, what a place. It's beautiful, right?
Stunning.
So what happens to him here then?
He's starting to rub shoulders with the children of the influential and wealthy Catholics of Yorkshire, who are being prosecuted, who are being jailed, and as time goes on, people actually being put to death for their beliefs.
Isn't fate a funny thing?
Isn't it just?
Now, you might think the school would hide away from this infamous part of their history, but far from it.
Brilliant. And here he is.
The man himself. And we're told this is the only portrait they have of a former pupil.
I suppose at the point he's leaving this school, I can understand that he'd be angry.
Yeah. I think this is the fork in the road he decides he's going to go off and be a mercenary and fight on behalf of the Roman Church. And I think that's really where the die is cast.
I'm really beginning to get a great picture of this angry young man.
Come on! Let's do it.
As dinner time approaches, John has promised to tell me the rest of the story at a local pub. And as for where, well, it could only be one place.
Just so happens to be the Guy Fawkes Inn.
Ha 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 ha. I'll buy.
Good man.
That'll do, won't it? Good elf.
We've ordered a pub classic, pie and a pint, which I like to think is very much the sort of thing the plotters would have been eating back in 1605.
Whoa, that's a pie? That's about a kilo of pie.
It's Yorkshire portions now, Greg.
Wow, look at that. We all think we know the story. How does Guy Fawkes get involved, and what do they plan to do?
What's interesting, of course, is we tend to talk about it now as in trying to blow up Parliament. In reality, it was they just knew the King was going to be there for the state opening of Parliament. He's the guy that's entrusted on getting the gunpowder in there and ensuring the fuse is lit in time.
Why did the plotters not succeed?
Well, it's very likely that from very, very early on, the Lord Cecil, who was the kind of the spy master in chief, was aware of their activities.
Why not stop the plot earlier?
You wouldn't get the splash, so that everybody can see the threat Catholics pose.
It worked, didn't it? Because we're still talking about it now, 400 years later.
Absolutely. I mean, it's become a seminal event, hasn't it, in British history?
Now, what's your favourite, a rocket or a Catherine wheel? Rocket, right?
A rocket, right?
Yeah, absolutely.